You are now watching Showbiz Snap, your daily showbiz update. Isa na namang ang issue ngayon ang kumakalat sa social media. Ito'y matapos nga na magkaroon ng issue ang dating mga magulang na sina Leni Robredo or Vice President Leni Robredo at ang magulang ng kaklase ng anak niya sa isang eskwelahan na si Contreras. Narito ang buong detalye mula sa naging article ng balita. Usap-usapan ngayon sa social media ang tungkol sa nangyari noong 2004 sa pagitan ng pamilyang Robredo at Contreras sa isang paaralan sa Naga City. Nag-ugat ito noong sinabi ng mga netizen na bias umano si Antonio Contreras laban kay Vice President Leni Robredo nang mauna nitong inanunsyo na hindi sasabak sa DZRH presidential interview ang Vice-Presidente. Sa Universidad de Santa Isabel, naging magkaklase ang panganay na anak ni na dating Naga City Mayor at DILG Secretary Jesse Robredo at Vice President Leni Robredo na si Aika at ang bunsong anak na babae ni Benji Contreras, kapatid ni Professor Antonio Contreras na si Kay. Taong 2004 nang sila ay nagtapos ng high school sa naturang paaralan. Bago ang naturang graduation, nagkaroon ng issue di umano sa pagiging valedictorian ng anak ni Benji dahil muntik na di umano itong maagaw ng iba. At sa isang Facebook page o sa isang Facebook post ni Leticia Bianca Flor, guro at advisor ni na Aika at Kay, ibinahagi nito ang umano'y totoong nangyari noong 2004 graduation sa USI. Ang kanyang post noong Enero at 30. Narito ang kanyang paglilinaw sa kanyang statement. Sa naging pahayag ng guro, mariin niyang ipinaliwanag ang side ni Vice President Leni Robredo. Aniya, for everyone, I would like to share and clarify issues shared by certain Antonio P. Contreras on what happened in 2004 at USI graduation of his niece. This is the fact. His niece and the eldest daughter of VP Leni were classmates and fortunately, I was their class advisor. I knew well the results because the grading sheets were with me. I gathered all data and submit them to the Committee on Honors. When the results were released, his niece was declared valedictorian. Murmurs were heard by myself, so I tried to talk to the committee. I saw the results and there was a slight difference only in their final result between his niece and the daughter of VP Leni. But I never learned that the couple, VP Leni and Jesse, made any remarks and tried to use their influence about the result. Not at all. All valedictorian and salutatorian are asked by the administration to submit their speeches, valedictory address, and address of Thanksgiving for salutatorian. Their made speeches are returned to them to be read during the graduation nights or rites. When the time of his niece came, she didn't read the speech she submitted but instead got a note from her pocket, and that note was the read, "You accepted, you were the one who wrote the text. Sir, with due respect to you, the speech you made was out of context for a valedictory address." Audience were surprised why the content of the speech was not the one shown by your niece to the committee. May I ask you, sir, what is right? The venue was not a political rally, but it turned to be one. Sorry, sir, but I have known VP Leni's character and person because she had been my student too in her high school year. Fourth year, just like you two nieces and VP Leni's two daughters. Being with them for a year, we class advisors can tell the character of our students. I can vouch for VP Leni characters and persons together with her. At dahil sa inilabas na ito ng guro, ay ipinaliwanag ng nasabing si Contreras ang side nila kung bakit nga ba iba ang speech na binasa ng kanyang anak. Narito muna ang naging pahayag ng tito ng nasabing estudyante na si Contreras. Sabi ni Antonio P. Contreras to the person who say that my family should move on about what happened to my niece when she almost lost her being valedictorian in 2004 because someone wanted to take that away from her. This is not a petty issue. If you have a child, yung nga lang agawan mo siya ng laruan o candy, it is already traumatic for him or her. What is even more painful that facing the threat that what you have worked hard for is being taken away from you by powerful and well-connected individuals. My niece worked hard since first grade to achieve that honor. She was first place from grade 1 until part of 4th year high school. So when her grade started falling, while the grade of the other preferred girl was rising, it became a painful leaving hell for her, a traumatic experience that no one can easily forget. But what is even more appalling is that the person who attempted to steal from her the honor she worked hard for is now being idolized as the paragon of virtue. He's referring to Vice President Leni Robredo. So no, this is something that one cannot easily sweep aside, particularly my niece and my brother, her father. As for me, I am trying hard to get this out of my system, though it would matter so much to us if there would be some acknowledgement of this past sin against our family, and a simple apology would help heal the wounds. Ito na nga ang paliwanag hinggil sa issue ng ibaang speech. At ano nga ba ang issue sa di umano ay muntik nang maagaw ang pagka-valedictorian at mapunta sa anak ni Vice President Leni Robredo. Mula kay Benji Jr. Contreras, ang ama ng estudyante. Sinabi niya na share lang po para lumabas ang katotohanan tungkol sa nangyari sa Universidad o Universidad de Santa Isabela o USI noong 2004 involving the Robredos. A rebuttal to the post of Mrs. Leticia Nave Biancaflor, 4th year class advisor of my daughter, Kay Contreras, about what really happened in Universidad de Santa Isabela in 2004 in her defense of VP Leni Robredo. Isusulat kong taglish ang aking pahayag upang lahat ay maunawaan kung ano talaga ang nangyari. Noong December 2003, ang aking bunsong anak na babae ay naging representative ng USI sa National Oratical Contest na ginawa sa World Trade Center. Kasama ng anak ko ay isang guro na nagsilbi bilang coach, pati kaming mag-asawa ko. Pati kami ng asawa ko at kapatid kong abogada. Kami ay tumuloy sa Pope Plus Center. Noong gabi kami ay nagkakwentuhan. May sinabi sa akin yung teacher, aniya, "Sir, may sasabihin ako sa iyo tungkol kay Kay sa honor niya ngayong darating na graduation. Alam mo po, nilalakad at ginagamit ang impluensya ng mag-asawang Robredo na yung anak nila ang maging valedictorian sa halip na yung anak mo. Kaya kung ako sa iyo, ay dapat maging mapagmatyag at mapagbantay ka sa mga kaganapan sa USI. Ako'y isang ama na dapat magprotekta sa anak, kaya noong ibinigay ang mga grades for the third quarter noong January 2004, aking pinag-aralang mabuti ang grades ng aking anak. Nakita ko na matataas siya sa lahat ng subject maliban sa math kung saan ang grades niya 91, 92 at 93. Tinanong ko si Kay kung alam niya ang grades ng panganay na anak ni Robredo sa math at ang sagot niya ay mas mataas kaysa sa kanya. Kaya napag-isip-isip ko na sa math siya ida-down ng teacher who incidentally close to the Robredo para talagang matalo sa valedictorian ang anak ko. One day in January 2004, I talked to the math teacher and demanded from her lahat ng test papers including quizzes, long exams, and periodical exams ng anak ko. Sabi ko sa math teacher, there being a civil engineer and math instructor in college, I want to review her test papers kung tama ang pag-correct niya. Her reply was hanapin pa daw niya at ibibigay sa akin the following day. Kaya the next day, balik uli ako sa kanya pero wala siyang maibigay na test papers. She asked to give her some more time to look for them. So I gave her a week, then kinausap ko uli siya pero wala pa rin siyang maibigay sa akin. So I wrote a letter to the principal who incidentally was a non-copy furnished math teacher demanding that all the test papers of my daughter be returned to me. Pero 1 week had passed but she could not produce them. So again, I went to the principal to have a dialogue with the math teacher and she promised to give all the test papers. Again, after a few weeks, she still could not produce what I wanted. So sometimes in February 2004, I confronted the math teacher that if she would not give me my daughter's test papers, I would file a complaint against her at the Department of Education. Again, She asked some more time so that she could produce what I wanted pero wala siyang naipakita at naibigay ng mga test papers ng anak ko. So I told her that I would file a complaint at DepEd so that she would be removed as teacher. Nagmakaawa siya sa akin na huwag daw siyang ireklamo dahil she could lose her job. Then she told me, "Sir, dai ka na mag-report sa DepEd. Ta ako natabi ang bahala ki Mary Joy. Siya man giraray ang valedictorian." Ibig sabihin, "Sir, huwag ka nang mag-report sa DepEd dahil ako na ang bahala kay Mary Joy. Siya pa rin ang magiging valedictorian." Kaya naawa ko sa kanya dahil breadwinner siya ng kanyang pamilya, so I gave her the chance to correct what wrong she had done. The fourth periodical exam for the graduation student were conducted earlier to determine the honors of the graduating students. Usually 3 weeks before the graduation, the honor student had announced, but in my daughter's case, 1 week na lang before the graduation saka in-announce yung mga honors. When the honors were announced, my daughter cried heavily because of stress and relief. Imagine, since grade 2 up to 4th year high school, she was first, but without her knowledge, the valedictorian would be robbed from her. My daughter wanted to write her own valedictorian speech, but I said no. Ang sabi ko, ipapasulat natin kay Uncle Tony mo ang iyong speech para ma-criticize at patamaan ng lahat na nag-attempt to rob you, your valedictorian. My oldest sister, who was at the time principal of Naga Parochial School and best friend of the assistant principal of USI, asked me to show her the speech. We tried several times to tone down her speech, then submitted it to the principal of USI. Sabi noong principal sa anak ko, baguhin yung speech at ibalik sa kanya several days before graduation. But we had foreseen what was going to happen, so I told her not to go back to the principal and just keep her original speech. Sa patuloy na pagkukwento ng tatay ng nasabing estudyante, sinabi niyang noong araw ng graduation, during the graduation march, one of the unsheritors gave my daughters the speech which my daughter would read during her valedictory speech. Pero nang tinawag yung anak ko to deliver her speech, noong nasa stage na siya, kinuha niya yung original speech sa bulsa ng palda niya at yun ang binasa sa halip na yung speech na gawa ng principal. Imagine the shock of the Archbishop, the President of USI, school officials, the Robredos, and the audience upon hearing the forceful and criticizing valedictory speech of my daughter. It was a long silence. After the graduation, ako'y nagpa-blowout sa isang hotel at majority of USI teachers attended the occasion. The following day, as narrated by some teachers' friends, the principal called for a full faculty meeting in USI. During that meeting, the principal asked that all teachers who attended Contreras blowout to stand up. Almost all the teachers stood up and asked the principal, bakit ganoon ang aksyon niya? She could not answer the question. By the way, after the blowout, my daughter showed me the one-page valedictory spec attached in this post that the principal had written. It's entirely different from the edited speech my daughter submitted to her. Pinahirapan kami ng principal na kumuha kami ng grade at certificate of good moral dahil hindi agad ibinigay ng registrar hanggat hindi kami nagko-confrontation meeting with the principal. Assistant Principal for Academics, the university president, together with my daughter and I, sinabi ko lahat ng alam ko sa confrontation pero they denied, but I had proofs and name of the teachers involved. P.S. Nang makuha na namin ang report card ng daughter ko, may ensures ang erasures ang first, second, and third quarter math grades niya. Mukhang ibinalik sa dapat niyang grades. By the way, si Mrs. Leticia Blancaflor ay kailanman hindi kasama sa mga confrontation meetings namin, kaya paano siya magkakapagsabi ng tunay na nangyayari in defense of the Robredos. Ito ang katotohanan at walang kasinungalingan. Ilang mga netizen ang nag-react dito. Narito ang kanilang naging reaksyon. Wala pang anumang statement na nanggagaling sa side nila Vice President Leni pero anong masasabi niyo sa ating naging article na ito? Ilagay ang inyong opinion sa ating comment section. Images are all credit to the rightful owners and thank you for watching Showbiz Now.